United States, the first nation, came from Africa to recognize the United States as a distinctive sovereign nation. And that was not a surprise. It wasn't a surprise that Africa played a key role. Africa may have been neglected for centuries, but Africa has a key role to play in any society. So that is why I am bringing this attention that the first nation to recognize the United States as a distinctive sovereign nation did not come from Europe, did not come from South America, did not come from Russia, did not come from Canada, which is just a northern nation. It did not come from East Africa. It did not come from Europe as a whole. But it came from Africa. Africa is the first nation on the planet to recognize that the United States has a right to sovereignty, a right to independence, a right to speak up on his behalf and not British rule. And guess which nation did? Guess which nation did from Africa? I am here to remind all of us Ambazonia. I am here to remind all of us Ambazonia that we are asking the United States. We are asking the United States to give a payback for what Africa has been done. Africa has been very instrumental to the United States. So therefore, the people of Southern Cameroon and Ambazonia are not exception, different from those who did the good for the United States. So I urge the United States, the mighty nation with the supreme power, to stand up and say no to colonialism. Colonialism is a disease. It's a disease that is eating upon the people of Southern Cameroon. And we no longer succumb to those diseases. We will use every avenue, how we can, and by all means to suppress colonialism in Southern Cameroon. Fellow brothers and sisters, I am speaking that we must stand together. We may have some people that are in the wrong train. They're heading towards the wrong direction. But however, 13 states stood for the independence of this nation. So few of us can lead the train. Few of us can lead the train to the independence of Southern Cameroon. Fellow brothers and sisters, I am sure you are wondering which is that nation that recognizes the United States. And I am sure all of us are wondering which is that nation that recognizes the United States as the first nation to recognize this mighty nation as a sovereign nation. It was the decree signed. It was a decree signed. It was a decree signed by the Sultan Muhammed III. The decree signed by the Sultan Muhammed III is the decree that the first nation in Africa to recognize the independence of the United States. If the Sultan Muhammed III in 1777, the Sultan Muhammed III signed a decree to recognize the independence of the United States. So therefore, it is a reciprocal that I am asking the United States government to do the same for the people of Southern Cameroon and Ambazonia. The Sultan Muhammed III was the king of Morocco. The Sultan Muhammed III was the king of Morocco in North Africa. He signed a decree to recognize the United States as the sovereign nation. That became an embarrass for the UK government because they were looking for who should be recognized United States as a sovereign nation. But the Sultan Muhammed III of Morocco did just that. And it became an embarrass of recognition by other nations. And guess who followed next? France. France has a strong history. One would expect them to have recognized the United States. None of them did until the Sultan Muhammed III of Morocco showed that visionary leaders of Africa that I recognize the United States as a sovereign nation. And guess what? When France in 1778 recognized the sovereignty of the United States, Venice followed suit in 1782. Netherlands followed in 1782 in defense of Mons. Sweden followed in 1983. And guess what? British government on September 3rd, 1783. That is when the British government recognized that the United States have the right to their freedom, liberty, and equality, and freedom to exercise its duty over the United States. Fellow brothers and sisters of Southern Cameroon, I am here to remind all of us that the world has been a very prime history of this world nation. Africa has been the prime history of this world nation. We may be lagging behind, but we may have support the most powerful nation on the planet to what they become today. But I am here to remind the United States government to do the similar reciprocal what Morocco did to the United States. Recognize the people of Southern Cameroon. At least 8,000 souls have been perished in Southern Cameroon by a nation that has no legal obligation over Southern Cameroon. The people of Southern Cameroon has the right and privilege to be able to negotiate what they want on their sovereignty without the intrusion of La République du Cameroon. Fellow brothers and sisters, it is only our guns that will lead us into freedom. But that's why I am reminding all of us, we cannot stay and listen, but we have to dedicate ourselves. We have to dedicate ourselves. We have to dedicate ourselves for the liberty and freedom. We have many of our brothers that are suffering by a neighboring country, La République du Cameroon, that is glued onto us as though they love us. You all have listened some of the names they call us. The Biafra, vous le Nigeria, vous le Nigeria, vous le Biafra. For those of you who have been to Yaoundé, I'm sure you have not been embarrassed by those words. But this is the moment we need to terminate those words and focus inward and building the nation that we all love, the Southern Cameroons Ambazonia. Fellow brothers and sisters, I am with you, and that we have dedicated ourselves. There are many people who will come out here and give barrage of insult, but the dedicated people does not believe in insult. They believe in the spirit of what is good for the greatest good of greatest number. And they don't have to be majority. They don't have to be majority. The majority may not know. They may be insane. They may not have the value that the few smart individuals have. But you don't have to spend your time and speak on behalf of those individuals. Let them go, let them continue, but focus on the philosophy of liberty, equality. And that is what matters. And follow through. So fellow brothers and sisters, I want to remind all of us that Independence Day of Ambazonia is coming October 1st. What have you think of? What are you preparing for? If you see any neighboring country, La République agent, in whatever, we need to package them. We need to package them and ship them back into a different format in La République. That is the right choice. That is the right thing we have to do. We have to defend the Southern Cameroon. Package them, Ambazonia Defense System. Any agent of La République, whoever choose to stand with La République, package them, put them back in an envelope, ship them back to La République in a different format. Get them, take up the oxygen. Once you get them, take up the oxygen that they are breathing. Once you get the La République agent, take up the oxygen that they are breathing, package them, ship them without unoxygenated. That's the right thing we must do. We are at war, fellow citizens of Ambazonia. France is simply an enabler. France is simply an enabler. France more occupied because of the glue to the energy they generate and glue onto the resources of Africa so that they can benefit the French. They do not care more about Africa. Why should we care about them? Fellow brothers and sisters, let the Francophones glue on to France, But we will not be glued onto France. We will stand strong. We will tell France what it is. Liberty, freedom, and dedication is our main prior goal and objective. And we shall stand for, and we shall live unto, and we will deliver that expectation to the world. There is one individual, even the top general for La Republique, the top general, General Claude Zemeka, have acknowledged that they have lost the war. They have lost the war. If the top general has recognized they have lost the war, fellow Ambazonia defense, there is no relinquish. All that exposure to the street, no. Stay planning, stay fast, planning, deliver. Stay fast, planning, and deliver. So the agent of La Republique in Southern Cameroon, package them, put them in an envelope, take off the oxygen, deactivate the oxygen that they are using in Southern Cameroon, put them in an envelope, ship them back to La Republique. That's the goal we have to stand for. I hope every Ambazonia defense understand these fundamentals. Get the La Republique agent, deactivate the oxygen they are using in Southern Cameroon, put them in an envelope, stamp them with Ambazonia stamp, and ship them back to La Republique. Because that is what we have to do. We have to stand for, and we have to stand in that spirit. There is one individual. There is something that is wrong with this particular name, Paul. There is something that is wrong with this particular name, Paul. Paul. We have Paul Biya, we have Paul Tassam, there are so many of the Pauls. But this one is called Paul Tassam. He has created another agent in Le Bialem. So I want to remind the Ambazonia defense system in Le Bialem that there are certain Paul Tassam, that has created a certain group. For those individuals that choose to live on the group of Paul Tassam, remember, we know you, we know where you are, but you have to be careful. For those that have joined Paul Tassam, the group that have joined him. But I am here to remind fellow